Alright, Shalom Makah, Yabarakah Bashamayim, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahawashai, giving all praises to the Abanaw Yahweh Bashamayim, Bahasham, Hamashiach Yahawashai. I want to go into this topic about modesty and what it really means, right? And so I'm gonna go ahead and first get I'll get Timothy first. First Timothy 2:9, it says, "In like manner also that the women adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with broided hair or gold or pearls or costly array, but which becometh women professing godliness with good works." We talking about the good works, it's talking about the laws and commandments. And it's talking about it's supposed to be sober, sober in mind. And as well as being sober as far as not being drinking much wine. We can actually get that really quick too. 1 second. Oh, we can get it right here. Titus chapter 2. So here we go. It say the aged women likewise. This is Titus chapter 2 verse 3. It say the aged women likewise, that they be in behavior as becoming holiness, being set apart as in the law, not false accusers, not giving too much wine. See, that's not being sober. Teachers of good things, teachers of the law, that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husband, to love their children. So when you're being sober in mind, having a clear thought, a clear thinking, sure of things. Said to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, to be chaste. So let's get what this means. Chaste definition.
Chaste, abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse.
Then it says abstaining from extramarital or from all sexual intercourse, virgin, intact, maidenly, unmarried, unwed, not having any sexual nature or intention. So when we go in here and we talking about discreet, chaste, keepers at home. So it's talking about keepers at home and being chaste. So we know that it's not talking about not having a husband or not being sexual because she has a husband, you know what I mean? So like it says, synonyms, a chaste kiss on a cheek, so innocent, you know what I mean? It means innocent. And I would take it as meaning when it says be discreet, you know what I'm saying? Not being not speaking of sexual things, not having in proper conversations, not acting inappropriately, things like that, right? Obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. So these are some of the things, right? And we were at Timothy talking about the being sober, right? So we're talking about being sober and being sober in mind, and we can actually also get there real quick. What is this? 1 Timothy chapter 2 and 9. Let's see. Blue Letter Bible. Verse 2, 9. So we're gonna see exactly what this sobriety means. Okay, sobriety. Let's see what it says.
Strong's G 4997. Sophrasune.
Sophrasune. Okay. See the definition. Soundness of mind, self-control. See, so we get a better understanding now. And we understand when it says shamefaced and sobriety, that is talking about being sober in mind, self-control, sound in mind, and self-controlling, right? So she is a self-controlled woman, and professing godly things, and we know that's the fruitage of the spirit, self-control, right? So, all right, now I'm going to Peter. 1 Peter 3. 1 Peter chapter 3, we'll start verse 3 and say, who is adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and a wearing of gold, of putting on apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, in that which is not corruptible, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. Right? So when it's talking about what's a lot? Let's go back. Right here it says, "While behold your chaste conversation coupled with fear." All right, chaste conversation, and we saw that. Let's just go ahead and get this to all things for edification. Let's go ahead and put this up here. Okay, now we see what this word chaste is referring to. It says, "For after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted adorned themselves, being subject to their own husbands." Salaklia. Peter. Okay. So it's 3 and 2. We'll get that. That's a lot. So I'm just gonna scoop that. Actually, no, we go right here. Chase. Let's see how you say it.
Strong's G53. Hognos.
Hognos. Which is chase in the Greek. Exciting, reverence, venerable, sacred, pure from carnality, chaste, modest, pure from every fault, immaculate, clean. So clean, right? Clean, pure, free from carnality, so walking in the spirit, sacred, modest. So while they behold your clean or pure conversation coupled with fear of the Most High will make us do that. whose adorning, let it not be that outward adorning of plaiting the hair and of wearing of gold, or of putting on of apparel, but let it be that hidden man of the heart, and that which is not corruptible, right? Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. So, a meek and quiet spirit, right? Now, I gotta get this really quick. A quiet and loving wife is a gift from God in the Apocrypha. Right, I want to get this. Here we go. We go right here. Now this is just to go with that scripture. Go back over here first. It says, even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit, and it's talking about a woman right here. It says a silent and loving woman is a gift of Yahweh, and there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed. So it's talking about a woman that is under these type of instructions, and we know that that meek and quiet spirit is the instruction of the Most High. It says, which is in the sight of the Most High of great price. Now, when we went here, it says there is nothing so much worth as a mind that is well instructed. All right. It says in verse 5, for after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves. So they adorned themselves with meek and quiet spirits, not the outward flashiness of broidered hair and costly apparel and all those things. So lock it up. So, like I was saying, it says, for after this same manner, after this manner in the old time, the holy women also who trusted in the Most High adorned themselves, being in subjection under their own husbands, right? So we see what it's talking about as far as being modest. You know, we talk about wearing modest apparel, wearing clean apparel, right? And when we go to chase, which is all about chase conversation coupled with fear, who's adorning, let it be Salakia, let it not be the outward. So it's talking about adorning yourself with chasteness, right? And it's talking about being modest, not only in the outward but the inward also, which that ornament it speaks of is a meek and quiet spirit, right? Because you know what, it's talking about let's get it real quick. You know, I want to make sure put the scripture up here. It says, a loud woman knoweth nothing. I'm not quoting it exactly, but it should get it. Here it is. Proverbs 9:13 says, a foolish woman is clamorous, she is simple and knoweth nothing. Right? Say right here in Young Literal Translation, a foolish woman is noisy, simple, and have not known what. So it's talking about a clamorous woman, a loud, noisy woman. You know what I'm saying? That's why the opposite of that, where it talks about right here, a silent and loving woman is a gift from Yahweh. And here he talks about the ornament, a meek and quiet spirit, right? Alright, so we get that. Now I'm gonna go here to what it is not, to what modest is not. It says Ecclesiasticus, the Apocrypha 26 and 22, a harlot shall be counted as spittle. See, a harlot, there is nothing there's nothing about her that is modest. You know what I mean? She's about sexual things, as this being chaste is part of being modest, and it's talking about that she would be a virgin, she would be innocent, and all these things. But this here, this harlot is the opposite of that. It says, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. Right? Because a loving and quiet woman, a gift from the Most High, is going to build you up. You see what I'm saying? So let's even go to 19. It said, my son, keep the flower of thine age sound, and give not thy strength to strangers. When thou hast gotten a fruitful possession, and it tells you in the Apocrypha, he that getteth a wife getteth a possession, right? It says, all the field, sow it with thine own seed, trusting in the goodness of thy stock. So it's saying, we'll keep going. It says, so thy race, which thou leavest, shall be magnified. And I was even talking about this with one of my brothers, talking about how the scriptures speak on laying with your own tribe, so that your tribe will continue to be strong, right? It says, having the confidence of their good descent. It says, a harlot shall be counted as spittle, but a married woman is a tower against death to her husband. A wicked woman is given to a wicked. So like a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man, but a godly woman is given to him that feareth Yahweh. Now we keep getting into this. It says, verse, this is Ecclesiastes 26 and 24, a dishonest woman contemneth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband. See, so it's telling you all these things that are not of the righteous woman, that are not of the modest woman, right? Because all of these things are against the spirit of the Most High, and it tells you that a modest woman would be in the spirit of the Most High, outwardly and inwardly. Keep going. Ecclesiastes 26 and 25, a shameless woman shall be counted as a dog, but she that is shamefaced will fear Yahweh. Now let's go get that. Shamed face definition. The same as chase. Let's go ahead and pretty much the same thing. Obviously, what is on? Here we go.
Shamefaced, feeling or expressing shame or embarrassment.
So, a shame or embarrassment, ashamed, sheepish, guilty, guilt-ridden, contrite, sorry, remorseful, repentant, regretful. So, just it's saying repentful, right? Let's go here, see if we get some more definitions. Says shamefaced, modest. There we go. Modest or bashful. Right? So modest, dealing with modesty again. Shamefaced woman would be modest. Ecclesiastes 26:26, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. And that's why it says what it says in Titus. You know, let me go back to it real quick. Here we go. Titus chapter 2. Where were we at? There we go. Let's go here. Let's go back here really quick. It said, not here. It says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride she'll be counted ungodly of all. So she dishonor him in her pride. Now this says, this is what it's talking about how women are supposed to be, mainly older women. It said to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. And if you're obedient to your husband, you are not going to dishonor him. So in your pride, you want to be how some women are, disrespectful, you know, not wanting to listen to him, maybe try to belittle him, you know, things like that in their pride, right? Let's get a couple more scriptures real quick. Pride is the beginning of when one leaveth his maker.
Show pictures that match.
Salaklia. The beginning of pride is when one leaveth his maker in the Apocrypha. Salaklia, you know, here we don't gotta do that. Just give me 1 second and I will go ahead and find it. 1 second. Salaklia, because I think, you know, that's important to bring out to go along with this. Bear with me. I believe it's in chapter 10. There it is. Chapter 10, verse 12. Here we're gonna pull it up. Chapter 10. There we go. And verse 12. Alright. It says, well, let's just go back here first. It says, a woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all, but she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all. Now, go to Ecclesiastes 10 and 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from the Most High and his heart is turned away from his maker. So if you can't, as a woman, respect your husband, you definitely not respecting the Most High. And if you can't respect the Most High, you're definitely not going to respect your husband, because there's a order of things, right? So that's when you depart from the Most High. It says, for pride is the beginning of sin. Let's get that right here. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. Abomination. Now, let's get that one more time, right? What it's saying in Titus? It says that the word, it says verse 5, Titus chapter 2, verse 5. It said to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husband, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed, right? Salakla. It says you should pour out abominations, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abominations. So it's abomination to go against the Most High. And therefore Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. So that pride, man, that pride says beginning of sin, you know what I mean? So that's why I say, Salaklia. See, that pride, you should be counted ungodly of all, because, like it says, for pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. Therefore, Yahweh brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. But where we at? Here it is. The beginning of pride is when one departeth from God, and that's why it says here that but she that dishonoreth him, dishonor her husband, should be kind of ungodly of all, because you fell from your maker, and this is why you're breaking the rules of your maker and disrespecting and dishonoring your husband. Right? So let's go to a couple of pictures I have up here. This is not modest apparel, just to show what modest apparel is not. This is not modest apparel, right? Because it talks about dealing with sexuality. Anything that's not the opposite of modest is going to be trying to draw man in, with sexuality and things like that. This is definitely not modest apparel. Alright, now these are some sisters that are dressing in modest apparel, and also I will get something to show. Once again, I'll bring this out. It's from the 12 Patriarchs, but I'll bring it out again. This is modest apparel. Right? This sister has on modest apparel. This sister has on modest apparel, right? These sisters do not have modest apparel. I'm going to read this. It says, hurtful are women, my children, because since they have no power or strength over a man, they act subtly through outward guise, how they may draw him to themselves. And this is what they do. This is what wicked, non-modest women do. Try to figure out how they can draw man to themselves, because they have no strength over him. So they use these things, their makeup and being promiscuous, showing off their bodies, to tempt man. It said, and whom they cannot overcome with strength, him they overcome by craft, right? It said, for moreover the angel of the Most High told me concerning them, and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication more than men, and they devise in their hearts against man. It said, and by means of their adornment, right, they deceive first their minds, and still poisoned by the glance of their eye, right? And it tells you let's see if we can find that real quick. Let's see. A whorish woman should be known by her eyelids. I don't know if that's exactly. Let's go. Let's just put. Do this here. I know exactly where it is. Here we go. Salaklia. Let's see what this says. Go to the case and say, lust not after a woman, so like lust not after her beauty in thy heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. And this other ones, let's see, okay, maybe I quoted it wrong, but it's telling you, right? What is this? Proverbs 6:25 says, lust not after her beauty in thine heart, neither let her take thee with her eyelids. And this is some of the things like they talking about the adornment, right, in the 12 patriarchs. Now I know there was something else I was looking for. Let me see something real quick. Is that it? Let's see what this says. Let's say the whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids. That's what I was looking for. Alright, so it's Ecclesiastes 26:9, right? So back to this. Say by her eyelids, all the makeup or whatever. Let's go back. It says back in the 12 patriarchs, patriarch of Reuben. It says and taught me that women are overcome by the spirit of fornication more than men, and they devise in their heart against man, and by means of their adornment they deceive first their minds, and instill the poison by a glance of their eyelids, right? It said, and then they take them captive by their doings, for a woman cannot overcome a man by force. Therefore flee fornication, my children, and command your wives and your daughters that they adorn not their heads and their faces, because every woman who acted deceitfully in these things have been reserved for everlasting punishment. For thus they allured the watchers, which are the angels, before the flood. And as these continually beheld them, they fell into desire each of the other, and they conceived the act in their mind, and changed themselves into the shape of men, and appeared to them in their congress with their husbands, and the women having in their minds desire toward their apparitions, gave birth to giants, for the watchers appeared to them as reaching heaven. So the thing is, like it's talking about the apparel, right? Unmodest apparel, adorning eyelids. These are things that deceive the mind of a man. Right. So that's what it's talking about. These not dressing in modest. This is not modest apparel. It's not to be dressed in. The Most High commands the women to dress in modest apparel, right? And also, I want to get this. Slock. 1 second. Salakia. Hold on 1 second. Here we go. Salakia. This what I want to get is Romans. Let me get Romans 14. What is it? Alright, you know what? Let's do this. Now this is talking about not eating flesh. If, you know what I'm saying, if it causes your brothers to something, let's say, but when you sin against the brethren, no, that's not it. Here, pretty much it's talking about right here, verse 8, it says, but meat commendeth us not to the Most High, for neither if we eat are we the better, neither if we eat not are we the worse. But take heed lest by any means this liberty of yours become a stumbling block to them that are weak. So I read this to say, with the sisters dressing unmodestly, you don't want to do nothing that is going to be a stumbling block before your brother. So it's best to follow the Most High, you know, so because we don't want to do anything, you know, even this here where it's saying, I will eat no flesh while the world standeth, unless I make my brother to offend. So we don't want to do nothing to offend brothers. You don't want to do anything that's going to cause your brother to stumble. So this is why we want to follow what the Most High say and follow his laws, statutes, and commandments, because by following those, you're not going to cause your brother to stumble. And it's wrong, you know, in the eyes of the Most High for women to dress in this manner. You know what I mean? The Most High wants us to be holy and set apart, be no part of this world, right? And this is part of the world. This is that wickedness that the women of the world just like, and we are supposed to be new creatures. So we want to follow the things the Most High say and do nothing that will make us even look like we're trying to be part of this world. Most High willing, this is edifying. I think that's all that I had, you know, the shamefacedness, the chasteness. It all deals with modesty, you know, like this, being modest, being bashful, you know, not being loud and boisterous, you know, like these women of the world, wagging their necks and everything like that, but to be holy and set apart as the Most High intended it for us to be. So I'll go here one more time, you know, where it talks about in verse 4, 1 Peter 3 and 4 said, but let it be the hidden man of the heart, that which is not corruptible, right? Even the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. So this is what the Most High wants you to be adorned with, is the spirit as well as the outer, but you have to change that inner person, and then it will reflect on the outward. I said, Most High willing, this has been edifying, and we want to make sure, you know, to the sister, you don't dress like this, you don't dress like these video vixens, but you dress, you know, modestly, you know, not causing your brother to stumble, and just making sure that you're doing what the Most High say, because it's what the Most High say, not just because you don't want to cause your brother to stumble. Like I said, though, I hope this has been edifying. With that, I'm going to say Shalom Akai.